It's Doc Christine again, here with Brian, and big news. What's going on, Brian?
Well, as we had talked about earlier, you have to pay attention to what's going on with your body and so forth. And I found on day 8 that it was getting... Got up in the morning, had a couple events happen, wasn't too bad. Day went on, had a real big event happen, a real big stress in my life happened. And that even wasn't too bad, and I continued working on. And then I had another thing happen, which is normally something that would happen like to you maybe every 5 or 10 years, what happened to me in this day. So that's fine. I'm delivering some wood, I'm getting up on my ladder, and I'm feeling a little lightheaded, not quite well like I should be. Come home, sat at the computer for a couple hours, and I was talking to a friend of mine. I said, I'm really just not feeling well. I said, I'm not feeling normal. This is a little odd for me because I know my body quite well, right? And I went and laid down for a while and got up and I said, I feel a little better, delivered some more wood, and still wasn't quite up to par. Still feeling slightly lightheaded when I was up on the ladder and so forth. So I come home and I checked my sugar, and my sugar was 2.2.
Which is low.
Which is
Very
low. And I believe that my sugar had came up.
Already, so it was lower than that.
It was
before.
lower than 2.2. So I believe I was probably into the ones.
Wow.
When you get into that low, you're really into a serious danger zone.
Right, because your brain starts shutting off.
Yeah, so you're not as cognitive as you should be. There's all kinds of things.
Yeah.
So and I knew I wasn't feeling just quite right. I wasn't feeling dangerously ill or anything, but I just wasn't feeling quite up to par. And I said, with all this stress that's going on in my life and all the things that are going on, my body is probably just not quite used to this as when I'm fasting. So fasting and having all these stressors at the same time probably consumed a lot more of my sugar than it normally would. And you might be a better person to answer that.
It can get you dangerously low, and it seemed to be at that point. And I'm grateful that you had the wisdom to decide at that point for one to contact me, and together we decided that it's better to stop the fast and go back on a reasonable nutrition.
Right, yes, and in the end we still do the intermittent fasting, which is something that I've done all along, and we can talk about that here in future episodes.
Absolutely.
But this is all part, as we talked about from the start, when somebody is going to do a water fast for an extended period of time, there's a lot of things you have to take in consideration. And one very important one is the person who is doing it. That person realizes and knows when the time to say that this is not a good time to continue this on.
Yes, and that's very important to realize, because otherwise you can get in serious danger, end up in the hospital in a coma or worse.
Exactly. Now, 2 months from now, 3 months from now, things in my life could be altogether different, and it could be no problem whatsoever. As I have done other fasts before, never had a problem, and it mightn't be a problem. But at this time, when you get your body's telling you that if things aren't quite the way they should be, then it's probably just not a good idea to continue doing it. Similar to when you're taking a new prescription of drugs. If it doesn't work for you, or you think it's not working, you don't continue to do it. You find out what's going on and make the decision from there.
Exactly, and I totally respect you for that decision, and I hope you don't see it as failure, because I don't. I see it as a big success, because you tried it, it didn't work, and we share it with everybody so they can learn it's okay. Yes, you have the goal to do it 40 days, but it might not work, and it's not bad.
No, and then that's fine.
It's life.
It's an experience, is what it is, and not saying that I won't try it again.
Of course.
But at the present time, it's just not a good idea.
It's just not a good idea, yeah.
So then what you have to do is you haven't ate anything for the last 8 days. So your stomach basically shuts down. I think in 2 or 3 days, isn't it?
It's used to doing nothing and gets a rest, which is okay, but you can't suddenly overwhelm it with a big meal.
No. So whenever I do fast, any type of extended fast, what I did was usually I'll eat some berries, some fruits, some soft fruits, soft berries, and then try to slowly introduce some softer vegetables and so forth. They recommend that you go half the time of your fast in refeeding to get your body back to normal. So that should really be about 4 days for me. So we'll see how that goes, but 4 days is probably plenty of time to get your body back into things. But your stomach is not going to feel right for a few days, even after 8 days. It's going to take a little while.
It has to get used to eating normally again, or eating at all.
And what I started doing was taking probiotics as well. To get the microbes and restart it in your stomach again.
And that's a good thing. At some point we can make an extra video about probiotics and the different effects of different probiotics on different aspects of mood and metabolism.
Oh, absolutely.
Fascinating.
I researched for quite a while to find the probiotics that were what I were looking for, because as you say, it's not just your stomach, it can affect your moods as well.
Absolutely.
Which is something that most people mightn't realize.
That's right. And I mean, there's a gut-brain axis, and I talk about that a lot, and it is so important. And fasting can make people feel either high or low. So you have to watch your body.
And the interesting thing since you mentioned that, the interesting thing is, during this fast, I felt the best that I had felt for a long time. It really was a very good feeling. And it's kind of unfortunate that it had to stop, but that's what your body tells you, and that's what happens.
Right.
But it wasn't. It was contrary to what you might think. People think, oh, I'm going to starve. I'm going to starve. I'm going to starve.
I've got to feel terrible. No, you don't.
No. First couple of days, little bit of a stretch. You're feeling kind of hungry. I had a bit of a headache, continual headache. But after you get past 2 or 3, 4 days, then it's just kind of life is normal and you keep on going. And it actually was a good feeling. I actually felt good about it. So
And I mean, from our history on, the body was supposed to feel good. So during the time we had nothing to eat, we were able to go out and hunt for food.
Right, exactly.
So it's an evolutionary adaptation to feel good during fasting. So it's nothing bad about it. And now to go forward, you'll go back on intermittent fasting, and we'll share some more videos as they come, as we do them, and there's many changes coming in Brian's life, so we'll see how it goes.
All right.
All the best. Till soon. Bye-bye. And as an afterword, if you might have noticed some whining outside or some barking, that was the perpetrator, our little puppy Rudi. A little Pomeranian puppy. He's just 10 weeks old and he is a doll. He is such an adorable boy. Yeah, and he likes to run around and chew the cables, and that's why we couldn't have him with us during the video.